Almost all the seats are taken, Fi. I don't know if that's good or bad. All right, so anyway, I'm not going to go back on too much. We're certainly disappointed in the way the last week worked out. From a defensive standpoint, we get in that position and we hope to end the game and win it. So very disappointed. But we've moved on. This next team we're getting ready to play, every bit as good as the one we played, maybe better. So all our focus is on that. And with that, I'll open it up.
On the last play, even aside from just Chris, once a play gets kind of blown up like that, I mean, does it?
It's a weird deal.
Yeah,
It's a weird deal. Listen, we always talk about never assume. Like I'm talking about on a 1st and 10 play. You know, backside corner, don't assume he's down. You know, don't assume your buddy's going to get him tackled. And I think guys just got caught up in the moment, thought he was down. It didn't work out that way. I think we'll all learn from it, and we've moved on, and hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Does it make it harder because Chris has been around for a long time?
Yeah.
He's your highest paid guy. Does that make it more difficult?
Well, I mean, listen, when somehow, some way we needed to get him down. I mean, there's a lot. I'm not going to pick at all the things that happened, but there were other things that went on that, you know, that play, you know, it would have given us another chance to defend another play. I mean, we're assuming that Chris would have been able to get there. We don't know that. But there was a lot of things on that play that could have gone a little bit better. I think all the guys will tell you that. And we need to find a way. We had, really, when you look at it, we got a little bit fortunate and lucky that he got stepped on. You know, I mean, it was a pass play that we needed to defend. We were expecting pass. That didn't materialize because he stumbled, and what happened happened. I tell you what I'm going to say is I give the quarterback a lot of credit. A lot of guys would have fallen down or stumbled or whatever. He didn't. He got in the end zone, so I give him credit for that.
I know that one wasn't a center run, but, you know, Trevor Lawrence kind of gassed you a little bit on that. Chris Jones said afterwards, gap, we got to be...
You're talking about the other plays
the
he ran.
Run,
yeah,
that one, there was obviously...
Yeah, those were frustrating plays. He had at least 2 or 3. And we talk about rush lanes all the time. We can't give you can't give any of these, and especially not an athlete like that. You can't give him that kind of opening. I thought the coverage on the back end was really good. I think that's why Trevor pulled it down and ran. And when that happens, whoever we've committed to the pass rush have to make sure we don't let him get out and get that kind of yardage.
I felt like his snaps were going up and up and up. This was kind of flat. I guess, is there any rhyme or reason?
Just from more of the standpoint of what packages we had in, because there's certain packages where he's in there, and, you know, for whatever reason, we went with the other packages.
Coach, you like to identify what you call game wreckers on the opponent's side. When you look at this Detroit team, what were some of the unique challenges?
They all had red on them. We always put the red on the game records. Yeah, they're you see it. He's got a lot of weapons, and the guy pulling the trigger out there is pretty good. He's really accurate. His tops in a lot of different things. I flashed them up the other day. This is the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, or was at least a week ago, whatever. I don't know where they are now. I'm sure they're still up there. Our thing always, our number 1 goal going into these games is to limit points allowed, and it'll be the same focus. With all the weapons that they have, we're going to have to pick and choose who we quote-unquote try to take away, and then some guys are going to have to do some heavy lifting on their own.
Specifically the Montgomery and Gibbs on that rushing attack, just what makes them so effective as a one-two.
Their skill just sticks out. They're similar in some ways, different in others. I mean, I think that, you know, Five is a pretty powerful runner. I think they gear him plays toward that. You know, Zero gets out on the edge quite a bit, and he's a threat as a pass receiver as well. And I'll tell you, you know, they put them out there both at the same time, and that becomes a challenge. So, you know, we got to tighten all kinds of things up. I keep going back. I mean, I wish we played better in the 2-minute. We'd be feeling a little bit differently about everything, because we played the run fairly well, except for the quarterback, but the quarterback's included. Hopefully that won't happen again this week.
Steve, with Kelvin, Shepard, and your time
I'm glad.
with them,
Yeah.
what does it mean to you to see him have this success?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought him up. Kelvin, I think the world of Kelvin Shepard. When he played for us in New York those 2 years, he was our Nick Bolton. They're very, very similar. Those guys are kind of cut from the same cloth. I said to Kelvin at the time, I don't think he was thinking about coaching when he got done playing. I said, I think he'd make a heck of a football coach. And over the 2 or 3 years, I think he stayed out of it and, you know, kind of coached him. He got the bug. I think he went down to LSU first. And there were times that we talked about Kelvin and trying to get him here. I think he's doing a terrific job, and I'm really happy for him, really proud of him.
See some of the things that the Lions do well under center, play action, or some of the things that the Chargers had some success with.
Yeah.
I guess what's the challenge of that, and maybe what did you learn from?
Yeah, well, anytime a team can be on schedule from an offensive standpoint and be a threat to us, run or pass, it's going to be a challenge. You know, if we can, we really need to create a couple of negative plays. First and second down are going to be really important. And then, as always, win third down. But they do pose that particular problem. They're really good at play action. In other words, they sell it. They match things up. They're really good, I think, and they have been for a long time. I know the coordinator's different, but they're really good at matching the runs with the play action, matching the motions that you're going to get and shifts that particular game. They run it, and all of a sudden there's a pass play off of that, and that's what you're talking about. And we're aware of that. What we get, a lot of that's going to come, and I think our assistant coaches do a great job on defense in game, feeding to our guys. Okay, they ran this with that motion and shift. Expect this coming up. So hopefully we can be ahead of the game on those.
Coach, do you expect to see Omar be able to play more snaps this week, and what does he give you if you're able to do that?
Yeah, well, he was last week. It was he got dinged, and that was an unfortunate. But he'll hopefully. I think he's okay. I mean, the practices. I think you guys were out there yesterday, so we didn't have helmets on, and so we'll find out where we're at when we can gear Omar up a little bit and see where he is at the end of the week. But I would anticipate and would have anticipated last week that his rep count would have gone up had he played.
We're going to go last three, starting with Paul.
Steve, just sort of turning this forward from last week, what's the coachable point on the ball that went off Trent, Drew, and Nick? Or sometimes quirky things happen.
That was pretty quirky. I would have expected. Listen, you know, when it is bobbling like that, I've always said somebody has to go attack it. Don't try to finesse it. Not have to see it again. I remember when it happened. I thought we had it, and then it was on the ground. I mean, Drew and Nick could probably be able to tell you better what happened. But I think that someone's got to go up. And we always talk about the highest point. When that thing's bobbling up and down. Now, there was not an offensive player contesting it with the two of them. But when you're going after a football, I think you got to go attack it and grab it and pull it back in and go.
Todd?
That would
Coach,
be my.
when you're facing a team like this, it goes for fourth downs. That's the unorthodox.
Yeah.
How much preparation has to go in during the week to let the guys know, don't take your guard down, just that you stop someone on.
Yeah, third down can be really second down. It's funny. It feels like every week we talk about, this team's going to go for it on fourth down. I just think that's where the league's going to. I mean, 4th and 2 at our 40-yard line to offenses is let's go get it. We do it. Other teams do it. So this week is not any different. I mean, we know Dan's real aggressive, and we're going to be planning for it. He did when we played him here 2 years ago. And we're practicing those plays that we think we might see.
Last one, sir.
Coach, last week we were talking about Noel Williams and his ascension, and then he only had 4 snaps.
Yeah.
What was the circumstance?
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying that was not a reflection on any thought of how we thought Noel was doing at all. It was really just what we put out there package-wise. Like, if you guys notice, when Noel goes in, it's when Trent goes in at nickel. And, for various reasons, we went the other way with the pieces. And he didn't end up with as many snaps. That could change this week. I think he's doing a really good job for us. It doesn't seem like it's been too big for him. I was really encouraged by that when he played a bunch of snaps the games before. And depending on which way the game goes in terms of down and distance, we'll see how many plays he gets in this one.
Thank you.
Is that all of them? Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Coach.